Welcome back, everybody. This is JP Trades. Let's go into the gold charts and let's take a swing perspective or a macro look at this chart. We can see if we are following structure, we are actually trying to create a little structure on the weekly time frame. So let's go ahead and draw that in. So this would be your low and this would be your high. So now we have the current weekly range here. From a macro perspective, obviously we have gotten a nice pullback. However, it is still one of those little micro pullbacks when put in perspective, because that's all gold is really giving us. As we can see here, we had the structure break and we just came back down barely. Nothing crazy. Let's take a look at the 3-day. We did have a 3-day order block there, and it actually traded under it. So this is where we are finding support currently in our very, very small 18-hour order block. And we had posted this setup. That was a very, very nice push up, a 22-hour setup from this order block. Very, very nice swing trade. Let's see how long. About 16 days, not too bad. So we do see a nice order block up here. We do have a massive daily order block that we have rejected from here. There's also another smaller order block there that on my chart, and you can find that in the interactive charts. And that was one of the trades I had pointed out back in mid-November, and that is back in this section here. You can go to that section and find that trade. So now that that has gotten mitigated, you also have a 3-day order block there. Now that that has gotten mitigated, however, I would now be paying attention to this smaller 18-hour order block up here that aligns with this daily level. Let's take this one off of the charts here. Now let's go back to the macro first, and so we do have fair value gap right on the equilibrium. So this is one area I would look for a trade. We already know gold doesn't like to give us some massive pullbacks. So we might only get that equilibrium pullback and nothing more. However, if we were to take this as range, I would want to see somewhere in this demand zone get mitigated. And man, we do have a lot of high volume areas in that zone. Let's just take a quick pull here, and you see that point of control here. We have a very low volume area where this inefficiency was, as well as these inefficiencies, a very, very small valley here in the volume profile. We do have a high volume node here, which is interesting, that also resides around this area with these high volume levels here. But I would suspect that that's going to be more of a scalp and day trade. If you're looking for a swing trade, these are the two main areas at this point in time. We are finding some nice support on this value area high, which this again was a potential swing trade here. So if we do come back down to that, that would be one of the setups. So let's mark them out now. So I would want to see, not with that, I would want to see this level hit. Let's actually come down to the daily so these drawings can not look really weird. So short idea number one would be to come mitigate this small supply zone with that daily. And then I would take it back down to this value area low. And then if we do breach back into this value area and get acceptance back into this value area, I would be targeting here and here and here. Other short idea is to SFP this high and come back down into this range and do the same. Another idea would be to take this liquidity and come back down, see if we find support here or get acceptance back into this range. So any one of these ideas, you would want to come at least down to the equilibrium, but we have to break this first. We have to get acceptance back into this value area. So if we do not, you're going to have to get out of that trade and reposition. And then if we breach this zone, again, you're looking for this demand zone, and this is going to be your hot spot within this demand zone, as well as this here. So you have three areas to look for a swing short. If we get back into here, you can then find a back test area, and this could be another swing short. So that's 4 swing shorts. This would be a swing long. If we get a pullback to the equilibrium, and this long would target this high. Same thing with here. You have a shallow mitigation of this demand zone, and you would target the high of the value area. And if you break back above that, then I would target that, the high of the range. Same thing with this point of control here. Same thing with the value area low, as well as this range low. We do see that we have another demand zone right here, order block with imbalance. So this would create another area for an SFP to take these lows into this demand. So these are all of my setups. And again, if I was to take a long here, again, you're wanting to bring this all the way back up to this high. That is the target high. But you will have to get through many, many layers of resistance. So you have to play it wisely, take profits along the way, watch for the point of control to move up, watch for this value area to move, because these are developing value areas. They change as price is coming or is created and is building. So that is what I'm looking for in the macro for gold.